Everybody, welcome to the video and welcome to Savers. We don't come here that often. Prices are high. I usually don't find too much here to make it worth my while. But we were dropping off a clothing donation. Did a little bit of cleaning of the closets in our house. So decided to grab the coupon and pop into the store really quickly. We're not going to be here very long at all. The reason why even though I say I don't find too much here that's really worth my time, is because when I have found stuff here, the scores are huge. And it's kind of crazy because the scores here are usually in the book department. Kind of crazy. The most recent score I got a whole bunch of Dungeons and Dragons, not books, more like the manuals, and when I mean a bunch, I mean I filled up a whole cart full of them. The best score that I got out of here was actually a bunch of Star Wars graphic novels, and again, literally, I filled up the cart full of them. Total profit on those, I don't have any more books. I already sold them all out. But total profit on all those Star Wars books was right around $1,300. Some of those books were selling for I shouldn't say they were a book, they were graphic novels. Some duplicates. They were like a bunch of the old Star Wars Legends, like comic books, put together in one book, in one novel, graphic novel. So and that whole cart was completely filled with them, and some of them sold for over $200 each. So pretty amazing. And I don't know if it's just the location here or what, but I'm telling you, the book scores here are just wild. And you buy 4, you get 1 free. And it's usually under $5 a book. I mean, generally it's right around, I think, $1.99 a book or so. Which isn't a good price for books in general. I mean, you want to get, like, if you're at a garage sale or something and you do see books, you'll want to get them like in a big old bundle for a few cents a book if possible. Another great book find was an old copy of Dune, D-U-N-E. Yeah, they're familiar with that one. That new movie came out with Jason Momoa. What was that, like 2-3 years ago now? But I mean, the original Dune movie was my favorite. But I had an older copy of the book, and that sold. So definitely look at the purses and the wallets. I'm looking out primarily for vintage stuff. I'm looking for Brighton, anything good quality. They put these little, I might have talked about this before in my previous Savers video, but they put these little clips with hooks on them so they can hang them more easily. But sometimes those clips put indentions in the leather, so you have to take that into consideration. It could be could potentially ruin the item. And I don't want any clip indentions in any of my products, wallets, or whatever. With a hat, I don't think it's a problem because it's not, they're generally not leather. But in the leather, like, you'll leave the little like alligator teeth indention, That's kind of annoying. Definitely take a look at hats. Look at this hat right here that I just found. I found this. What drew me to it first was it was wool. And second, made in the USA, New York Hat Co. It's got like that cabbie style hat, cabbie paperboy style hat. Wool is definitely more of a premium, and especially going into we're going into winter. So I think this will be, I just want to look up the brand really quick and see. I probably wasn't going to be able to find that exact hat right off the bat, which, I've sold this style of hat before. And not necessarily this brand, but this style of hat I've had sold. And it's probably like a $20, $25 hat, you know, just based on the style, based on my previous sale of this style of hat, and made in the USA. So it's a good size. It's large, so it's a good size hat. We're going to take that for sure. And I'm going to take that, see that little hook? I'm going to take that off of it just in case. I don't want any issues with that little hook. Not hook, the actual clamp part. The hook, man. Well, just a few things we have to combat as we are as resellers here. Things we have to think about. Now we're over in the toy baggy wall, and I spot this little backyardigans, and this is just something I'm just familiar with. I mean, I'm familiar with backyardigans. I know there's value in backyardigans. My nephew loved backyardigans, which makes, you know, which is why I'm familiar with backyardigans. And this is a teapot. Obviously, the battery doesn't work, or the device doesn't work. I'm going to need to put a battery in it. So, backyardigans teapot. But I'm going to just quickly scan. You know, one sold comp for $18.89. Not bad for $3. Definitely going to take a look, see what's listed. And currently only one other listed. So, that's not bad. I think just due to the potential rarity and the fact that it's backyardigans. Again, not everything rare is valuable. But the fact that it's backyardigans, I think... well, oh, and it does work, by the way. I already tested it, and it works. So... And I'm going to put that in my title. If I am testing something and it does work, I will put in there, in the title, like usually at the end of the title, I will put the tested in there. And I do that a lot with my watches because all the majority of the watches I get all need new batteries. I'll say like 95 to 98% of the batteries I get, the watches I get need new batteries. And there are a lot of people that will sell them on eBay untested without a battery, and you know, it's still for the buyer, I feel like it's a bit of a gamble if they don't say that they tested it, if they don't say that it's working. And that's just coming from my experience buying watches, because I know I would be heavily critical of an item on eBay, especially like a watch, just say a watch, that they're selling to me either untested or without a battery, or they just say it just needs a new battery without saying that they actually tested it. So with my watches and most electronic stuff, I will put tested at the end of the title, and if I have too many keywords and I can't fit it in, I will definitely put that in the description. It helps to sell the item. And again, that's based on experience. Because I have tried to sell a bit of a higher end watch, and I really didn't feel 100% comfortable trying to take the back off the watch, and it was still a battery operated watch. It was a bit of a higher end watch. I just didn't feel comfortable, trying to open up the back and potentially scratching it. But it wasn't moving, so I was like, hey, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to jump in and get it done. And sure enough, I was able to open it, pop the battery in. Once I listed it as tested, it sold within 3 days. Full asking price? I'm pretty sure I got full asking price for it. So. Looking through these games, some PC games. The PC games you want to look out for, some of the older ones. Anything sealed, you definitely want to look up. And by older games, I mean like the original Doom. Doom. Got Doom stuck in my head. Original Doom, Duke Nukem. There are some other obscure ones as well too. Primarily, what I'm looking out for here is anything that's not on a streaming service. So like music has a streaming service. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all that. But also, too, a lot of games are online, and you can just download them. But there are some games that are not online that you cannot download. And one great example of that are the Lord of the Rings for PC. You can't download them. So I have been very successful in buying and selling those. Now this is a mug, and this is a very old mug, and it's a Bank of America. And so the reason why I even grabbed it at first was because it had the old Bank of America looking logo on it. It just looked old. And Bank of America, you know, everybody knows Bank of America. Very well known. I would call it, you know, a piece of Americana. I know it has America in it. Americana, you know, kind of synonymous with America. So I picked it up, I looked it up, and sure enough, it's worth it. Now this one here I picked up only because it is an older mug, and FMC that used to be here. They used to have a site here in San Jose, and my dad used to work for them long time ago. So I picked it up. I was asking my wife about it just to see if I should pick it up or not. It looked pretty dingy, so ultimately we decided just to leave it behind. There was just no saving it. There's some old like company mugs in here, kind of interesting. Definitely worth looking up some of them, but most of the time not really worth too much. So I was kind of surprised by the Bank of America that it was worth what it was, but I looked it up because it was old, it was vintage, it was vintage Bank of America. Looking at the mugs here. Still scanning the mugs. I'm looking for Deneen. I really am not looking for mugs to resell. It just so, you know, if I find one that's good to resell, I'll pick it up for sure. But I'm primarily looking for Deneen mugs to add to my collection, which is why I still scan the mug area. I'm not necessarily looking for profitable mugs, because really, how many people are going to pay a lot for a mug? How many people are going to pay $20-something for a mug? It does happen. I have featured some mugs in my videos that you should be on the lookout for, but that's rare. Doesn't happen very often, and most of the time, mugs are a pass. But look at my past videos, you will see mugs that you should be on the lookout for. Just checking out some other mugs really quick. Also, too, you know, it doesn't hurt just to look stuff up, just because. I mean, just to try to see what is currently trending, what is selling, you know, just adding to that knowledge base. Now I know, you know, by looking at those other mugs, you know, I now know that I shouldn't even bother touching them because they're not really worth it. And, you know, that'll just add some extra time for me to look at other stuff or look up other stuff. End caps here are very poor. I don't like end caps here at Savers. I never find anything on the end caps. Again, you know, Savers is for me a very hit or miss, extremely hit or miss, and I prefer a little bit more of a guarantee that I'm actually going to be picking something up when I decide to go sourcing. But this isn't a regular sourcing day. This is just a quick run in. I'm not unplanned, so I'm like, all right, let's see if I can pick up any profitable items here. And plus, you have the coupon. Do not forget to get the coupon from Savers. Very important, because then it brings your items down to a price point which are a little more, a little better for reselling. And to get the coupon, you need to make sure to make a donation before you walk in. If you make a donation, they'll give you a 20% off coupon. Doesn't matter what the donation is. Well, they don't accept like some baby stuff, so just bring clothing, I would recommend. Holiday stuff. And I'm not sure if they I mean, they definitely sort through everything, so I don't know if they actually just don't get that great of products in my area, or I mean, because they do get some good stuff. Yes, like I said earlier, I had some amazing scores here, but just to come here on a regular basis just isn't in the cards, and I don't know if I mean, I'm pretty sure it's mostly because of what's being donated, but are they really, you know, sorting through everything and very, you know, are they really good at picking out the, you know, the more expensive items and or the, you know, more profitable items for resellers? Are they and just putting the junk on the shelves? I mean, I don't know. Or maybe it's just, you know, those big scores, you know, that's what's donated here. You know, the books are the best deal here. I've seen some people will go to Savers and they get some great stuff. I have been to other Savers around my area, just a little bit too far, and just based on my experience with this Savers, I if I'm out and about, you know, further away from, you know, home base, I really would rather go to a Goodwill or a flea market than go to Savers, just because of my experience here. But it could be different wherever you guys are at. Your guys' Savers could have amazing stuff. You know, it's just here. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think of the Savers. Let me know if you guys see anything of profit that I'm missing. Let me know about your guys' Savers. Are they good? Does the Savers look good to you? I mean, I got 3 items that was here, you know, not very long at all. Good profit. Yeah, I think it's good profit for those things. And just scoping out the little holiday section here, looking to see if they have any Gemmy Gemmy products. Those do really well.
I need to show you something.
And then they have like their, you know, their new like holiday Halloween costume stuff here. But let's get into the recap. Okay, everybody, so that was a quick little trip into Savers. Savers isn't my most favorite place to source. Prices tend to be higher. This quality of stuff, I don't know. I just don't feel that the quality of stuff they get is on par with Goodwill. But what I do like about it is the fact that things that get donated there will end up on the shelves. You know, if it's, you know, worth it or if it's not broken, it's going to end up on the shelves. At Goodwill, you know, when you donate stuff to Goodwill, it might not necessarily end up on the shelves of that Goodwill you donate to. They will ship stuff out to be sold in their online stores. There will be stuff shipped out to a centralized hub and then distributed to other Goodwills that may or may not need inventory. So, I do like that about Savers. I just don't like their higher prices. Of course, they are a for-profit donation place or thrift shop. But make sure when you are going to Savers, bring something to donate. It could be anything. And then you get a coupon for 20% off, which kind of helps with their higher prices. But we found some great items, low cost on these items, and they should resell pretty well. The first thing I grabbed was this hat. And first of all, what you know lured me to it was the style of the hat, and we are getting close to fall, winter, and it is a nice. I think it doesn't say wool, but I'm pretty sure this is a wool hat. Yeah, it doesn't have like what the material is, but it feels like wool. And then I was looking at the tag, and then you know New York Hat Co. and made in the USA. So that was another positive for the hat. Looking it up, it was $6.99. I couldn't find the exact comps on this hat, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be right around a $25 to $30 for this hat. So it's a cool kind of like paperboy style of hat.
It's a size large, so it's one size. It's not stretchable or anything like that. So, but I've sold hats like this before. I sold a Kango hat like this. I sold another hat similar to this. So look out for more wintry style hats. They may start to pick up you may start to pick up sales in those may start to pick up just because winter is coming around here. So pretty cool little hat. Then the other thing I grabbed was this toy. Now I know Backyardigans. You want to look it up. That's one of the characters from Backyardigans. I just knew automatically. I mean, I knew immediately that was a Backyardigan character. So that's why I grabbed it. It was $2.99. The last sold comp was $18.89 on this. And I'm gonna have to test. I'm gonna probably have to check the batteries because it might need batteries in there. There is one currently listed for $12.99, but I think I could probably get $15 to $18. So that's what I'm gonna try to shoot for on this guy. But at $2.99, that's pretty good. I got 20% off, so helps out a little bit. I'm gonna make sure it works. Hopefully, if it works, obviously it'll sell better if it works, or will sell if it works. But it's not a big loss if if it doesn't work. Then the last thing I grabbed, and this kind of just comes from experience, because some people ask me, well, how'd you know? How'd you know to pick that up? How'd you even know to look that up? And it just comes from experience from doing this. And vintage, anything. There's a market for a lot of vintage stuff. I'm not going to say, well, I think I just said anything, but not everything vintage is good. However, I do look out for big names, popular. I don't know if Bank of America is in pop culture, but Bank of America has been around forever. And I saw this there, and I was like, that's old. Vintage USA on the bottom there, so made in the USA. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to look it up really quick, just because it's vintage Bank of America. Let me just see. It's, Americana, as you can say, because Bank of America has been in America for a while now, been in business for a while. And sure enough, what was the last sold comp on that? Let me just double check my memory. Vintage Bank of America mug. That's right. $25. So $25 on that last sale. There was another one that was listed, but it was paired with another mug, and they were asking $38. So I think I'm going to price this at $25 and see where it goes. But for $249, pretty good deal right there. So 3 great items for just a quick little trip to Sabres. We weren't even planning to go into Sabres. We were just going to donate and go. As far as donations to Sabres go, they don't take car seats, strollers, anything like that. So if you do donate that, they don't accept that. Generally, everything else they will take. But those are the 3 items there we got from Sabres. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But we're going to discuss a topic today. Okay, so what I kind of want to talk about today is a little bit about time management. And to be very specific, it's about time management when you're sourcing. Now, you see me in the videos. You see I got a certain, like a path, a plan as I'm moving through the Goodwills. You'll see I start in pretty much a lot of the same location within the Goodwill or within the flea market. Now, that is just based... car outside the window. That's just based on, my history going to that Goodwill or going to that flea market. Now, I've gotten to learn where the good stuff is. And it's different for every Goodwill. So, when you guys are out there sourcing, when you're out there at either a thrift store, at a flea market... the garage sales are a little different because the problem with a Goodwill is you never know where the Goodwills are going to be. Yes, you can go online, you can look on Facebook, Craigslist. I believe there's a garage sale website, and you kind of map out your route, but it's going to be different every single time. Thrift stores don't really change. Flea markets, again, they don't really change that much. If you go consistently enough, you'll start to see a lot of the same people, and you'll see what people tend to bring. Now, when I'm at the Goodwill, you see, like, let's see, my last videos coming out today is Savers. But at 2 of the Goodwills, I generally start out at the glass case, and that's good. The reason is, or my thought process behind it, the glass case is where they're gonna put their more high-end products that they get in, what they deem more high-end, what they deem higher priced, and will be higher priced. So I kind of want to see. Okay, I haven't been here in a few days. Let me just take a look, and that'll give me a sense of the potential in that Goodwill. There are other Goodwills you've seen in my videos where I don't start at the glass. I'll start, start going down the aisles. And at 2 of the Goodwills now, I usually hit the glass, and then I kind of come along the purse section. And that is because first of all, the glass, I'm looking to get a sense for what everything else in the Goodwill is going to be like. Because all that stuff's coming in from donations, and somebody, maybe they donated, like I did those Nintendo DSs. I got those Nintendo DSs. Maybe there's more Nintendo stuff floating around in the store. So, or I wouldn't even had a chance to get the DSs because they probably would have been gone if I hadn't started the glass. So I generally, or if I'm going to a new Goodwill, I'll look at the glass too as well to get a sense for what else is going to be at the store. Then I progress through the purses because I've had great success with purses. So, and some of the Goodwills, like the one that I go to, even if I tell you where it's at, it's not even going to give you guys a. You guys won't even really know. But either way, one of the Goodwills I go to where I walk in, there's a bunch of clothes right off the bat. I mean, I think that describes every Goodwill. Either way. You'll see me usually hit the glass and go along the purse aisle. And some of it is because that's the way it's designed. Especially with one of the Goodwills, which I've mentioned before about its redesign. It's kind of forcing me to go to the glass, which is on the far wall, and then move along the purse wall. I kind of have no choice because I got to get to the back to where the hard goods are. So, and some of it is just because that's the way they designed it. I have no choice. That's the way I have to go. And one thing I don't like to do is just shoot through the clothing all the way to the back, because what if I miss everything that's over there against the wall that I do pick up for eBay? Then one of the other Goodwills I go to, I usually hit the glass and go along the wall again, because the purses are along the wall. But more or less, that's where the electronics are, which is one of the primary categories I'd like to source for. So I go along the purse aisle, go to electronics. When I'm going to a Goodwill for the first time, generally, like I said, I'll check the glass, but then I prefer to do my comfort zone, which is electronics and toys. Then I'll branch out to different aisles. The flea market. So when I'm at the flea market, you guys know I like to hit Lupe's booth on Thursdays. See what she got, see what she has, see what she got. See what she has, see what she got, see what she recently purchased from. See what she recently brought from the storage units that she buys. So Wednesdays. So the flea market's open Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesdays are not good at all. I've gone on Wednesdays. I've completely struck out on Wednesdays before. So I haven't been there on a Wednesday in such a long time. Could have changed, and I probably should go on a Wednesday just to kind of check it out. But it's very small. Very few vendors. Thursdays are a big day. So Thursdays, when there's a lot of people there, there's a lot of shoppers, a lot of vendors, I'm going to hit the usual people that I know I buy from regularly. Because typically I will spend more on a Thursday, just because there's a lot more vendors there. But I want to see the people that I buy from regularly because they're constantly getting good stuff. And they're great stuff that sells quickly in my store. So I'm going to hit, the lady with all the purses. I'm going to hit Lupe. Then I'll swing back around. And, the guy, there's a guy there, we call him Mustang Guy because he used to come in only a Mustang. And he had great products. I haven't really bought from him recently. He's been coming in a box truck. And So I still like to take a look at what he has. Then there's several other vendors that I'll hit really quick. Then if I have enough time, I'll go ahead and circle back and take a look at other vendors. You definitely get that fear of missing out sometimes if you just blow right by other vendors. You don't really look at it. But I'm looking more for that guarantee. I'm looking more for that. Okay, I know so and so is going to have products. I'm going to go there. Boom, 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 boom. Then if I have time, or if I have time and money, I'll circle back and I'll take a look at what everybody else has. Fridays at the flea market tend to be a little bit different because it's a little bit less sellers, less buyers, and then I'll take a look. All right, Friday morning, let's take a look at what everybody else has. We don't have to go to the usuals, and a lot of the usuals aren't there on Fridays. They usually concentrate on Thursdays and Sundays. So I have this whole plan going on in my head. Every time I get to a Goodwill, I have a certain plan, a certain route I'm going to take. And that's because I go there so much. I go to these places so much that I already know like where the stuff's going to be. I know where the aisles I'd like to be in. And sometimes there's curveballs. It happens. Sometimes there's curveballs and they'll throw me completely off. I'll find something, in an aisle that I typically don't go to right away, and then it'll cause me to start searching like that aisle or another aisle next to it. But typically I stick to a certain route, and the reason is because of first historical data that's in my head. I have already this memory of what I've purchased, what aisles I purchased it in. Flea market, I have who I've purchased from, where they're usually set up at, and those are the people I'm going to hit. Goodwill, I have the aisles I'm going to go to because in my head I already know I bought stuff here in this aisle. This is the aisle, these electronics, toys, golf clubs, purses. So those are the aisles I'm going to hit. Also, too, I sell primarily just in 20 categories, so I'm looking for stuff to fulfill those 20 categories. And I don't have all day either. I don't want to waste all day. I still got a list. I still got to ship. I still have to, just answer messages on eBay, clean up my store, which I do pretty regularly. Take a look at what's going on, what's selling, what's not selling, seeing what's ending for that, that day, what's come to its 30-day end of life. And it'll either be renewed by eBay. I might go in there, check it out, and redo it myself and change things up a bit. So I got all that other stuff I got to do. I also have kids. I have 2 kids. I got to pick them up from school. They start to get out around 2:30. So I have that. And then whatever else comes up in life, I got to eat at some point. Although sometimes I will, if the deals are good, I'll go without eating for as long as I possibly can. But there's other things that need to be done besides the sourcing. The sourcing, I always say this, the sourcing is the best part, but you gotta be able to have a little bit of self-control. And part of that is budgeting, making sure you have a budget. When you go to the flea market, take out the exact money that you're willing to spend. Just like you're going to a casino, take out as much money as you're willing to lose. And that's it. And limit it at that. I've passed up stuff because I didn't have the cash for it, and I already had a cart full of stuff. So oh well, somebody else is going to get it. But that's okay, because I'll go the next day or the next week, and I'll still find stuff to put in my store. Obviously, if there's something crazy profit, some big deal that I don't want to pass up, I can. A lot of these vendors, we do. A lot of them use Zelle, so I'll use Zelle. If it's a deal, I just can't pass up. But I usually go with a set budget. When I'm going to Goodwills, I typically probably want to be at right around $150-ish. Doesn't always occur. Sometimes it goes over, just depending upon what they have. But also, too, the other thing, too, about going to flea markets, going to Goodwills, going everywhere, is you start to build relationships with all these people, and they're going to help you out. Like, especially at the flea markets, there are tons of people that buy storage units. And, I got a bunch of numbers. They'll call me or they'll send me messages. Or they'll be like, hey, you're going to be there on Thursday. I have something for you. And then I'll go show up on Thursday. And that just, I mean, that, to me, that is just an amazing, you know, when you first experience something like that as a reseller, it's just an amazing experience that someone else even thought of you. Obviously, they're in it for profit too, but you're also in it for profit. But it's such a time saver to have somebody that has already sourced items for you. They're watching. You know, these people are watching. Don't think that, you know, these flea market vendors, even people at the Goodwill, or not really flea market, garage sales, but they're watching. They're seeing you there. That's one of the reasons why you always, I don't know if you see me, but I wear kind of the same hat to the flea market. It's that maroon Gilroy hat. Just so that people recognize me, you know, they see that, you know, I'm always wearing the same hat, and you know, they'll watch you. They know that you're buying from them, and as you buy more from them, as you develop a relationship with them, you know, they will hook you up. They'll hook you up. They'll be like, hey, you know, I get this stuff regularly. Can I call you? You know, they don't want to necessarily lug everything to the flea market. That's time for them too, as well. They're saving time and they're making money. They're making, you know, easier money than they would at the flea market if they have you to rely on to come buy that stuff from them. So the takeaway from it is, if you're first starting out, it's going to take you a while. It's going to take a while to learn this stuff. Even beginners, you know, even if, you know, if you've been doing this for a while, you know, you should kind of have an idea of where you're sourcing at, what aisles are going to be the best, which vendors are going to be the best. You know, I mean, I'm just talking about flea markets and thrift stores. That's primarily where I go. I do go to garage sales, but garage sales, yeah, like I've always said, you know, you never know what you're going to get. So it's like the old Forrest Gump. You know, it's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get with each bite. But I like to have a certain plan, a certain guarantee. I'm going off historical data that's in my head. I know where I found certain things, so I'm going to go, boom, 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 I'm going to check all those. And that's all just to maximize the amount of time that I have to source, to get these items, and to get as much items as I could for the best price possible, so I can make the most profit. At the end of the day, we're all trying to make profit, because losses suck. You know, we gotta, you know, make a living here. We gotta make a living in this world. So we need the profits. We can't spend money and, you know, just make that money back. We gotta make a little bit more. Make it worth our time, our effort. But did I already say the takeaway? Either way, the takeaway is to plan your routes, plan your time, plan your routes, and you'll start to learn this stuff as you go more and more to your sourcing spots wherever you go. If you're a garage sale person, I mean, there's certain areas in my city that are good for garage sales, and there's certain areas that aren't that great. So, you know, we've been to so many garage sales that we kind of know which neighborhoods to be in, like where the garage sales are going to be. And I mean, there's patterns there too as well. So you can find the patterns in garage sales. Don't get me wrong. It's just sometimes you go to garage sales and it's just clothes. And I'm not a clothes person. I'm pretty sure some people would like it. Some people would be like, oh, clothes. They'll start digging through clothes. But I'm not a clothing guy, really. I mean, you see, I do sell clothes, but it's not exciting to me. The clothes have to be exciting to me in order for me to buy it. But that's the end of the video, everybody. I hope this kind of helped you. I hope I'm not just coming off as just rambling at the end here. Hope my thoughts are coming through clear and concise, and my advice is coming through clear and concise. Otherwise, that's it for the video. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. I have a bunch of flea market videos. I got to get them out because I got stuff that needs to be listed. Get your stuff listed. We're getting to the end of the year. Sales are good. Sales are going up. I hope sales are going up for you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. If you guys are resellers watching this channel, eBay Open is this week. I do recommend, if you can't go, I mean, I can't go, to just jump on. You can jump on online. You can still register. It's free to register online. Some of the recordings are on there. I was kind of watching that today a little bit. But we'll catch you at the next one. Oh, appreciate new subscribers. Appreciate a thumbs up. And comment down below if you have any questions, concerns. If you think I'm rambling, let me know. I don't know. I don't like to hear myself talk, but I think a lot of people don't like to hear themselves talk. So I just kind of make sure, like, the videos, when I'm rewatching the video, I just kind of make sure the audio came out okay. So, but let me know. Am I rambling? Are my thoughts clear? Is my advice clear to you guys? Catch you in the next one.